like to run alone. I don't run in a group, and I get out there. It's just you and the elements, and it's my time to think, to say my prayers, and just to have some quiet time.
Your husband has called you on the campaign trail. You're Unit 1, he's Unit 2. Is that an accurate assessment?
I think the security detail was calling us, and he turned it around and said I'm in charge, so I'll always be okay with that. I've been married 18 years, and the next president of the United States is my running mate, John Kasich.
From the very tips of my toes to the top of my head, I just love my wife so much.
Tell me about how you guys met.
It was my first job out of college, and I was taking a photographer around to get pictures for a magazine. So John was on a list of officials. He was in Congress at the time, and I didn't really think anything of it because I was young and he was a congressman.
They're starting to feel the tremors of change here in Washington.
The magazine came out, and he called me at the office and said, you know, I wanted to tell you I thought the magazine turned out really nicely. So then he asked me out to lunch, and it kind of surprised me, and I called my mother and I said, Mom, this congressman just asked me out to lunch. And she said, oh my goodness, you don't know a thing about current affairs. You need to go get Newsweek magazine right away. What will you talk to him about? And to the day she died, my mother sent me Newsweek magazine every Christmas. But the conversation must have gone fine because here we are, 25 years later, happily married.
What made you fall in love with him?
Well, the thing I remember about first meeting him is we laughed. He had this twinkle in his eye, and we just laughed and had a good time.
Is there a particular story or anything about your husband that you feel like if you were to convey some little piece of him that maybe America doesn't know?
When he was in Congress, there was a family, not in our district, but they reached out to John because they had a young boy who had a terminal disease. I think Bobby was 9 at the time. Some kids, they want to go to Disney World. Bobby wanted to see all 3 branches of the federal government. So John took it upon himself to make sure Bobby got to Washington, not only saw all 3 branches, but met President Clinton.
What was your first reaction when John said, I want to run for president?
I think my first reaction was, oh boy, here we go again.
Over the course of my career, I have been involved in efforts which have made real progress.
And my second reaction was, of course you should, you need to, because you're a leader. You're the man with the experience, with the proven record in Ohio, compassionate. The country needs to see that.
I have decided to run for President of the United States.
How is the run different? I imagine it's drastically different from when he ran before in 2000.
Well, we're running from a position of greater experience. The thing that I'm so proud of with him is the fact that not only does he have experience, but he's got the compassion because of what he's seen in all these years as CEO of the state of Ohio. And he really wants to bring all people up, not just people at the top. And I think he sees the way of success is through economic development and bringing people along with progress.
The only thing we have to do as citizens who are on our feet and doing well is to think about the ways in which we can lift people.
And I can give you 5 bananas. Would you like 5? Yes. There you go. You're most welcome.
So this is kind of right up your wheelhouse, volunteering.
Well, this is the fun part because you get to be with the people of the state. So I think that's being with them where they're working, where they're living, where they're being served. It's all part of it. So I enjoy this. Okay, here are 3 apples.
You have a lot of things that you focus on with kids and with health. Is there one thing that's kind of at the forefront for you?
I just would say really physical fitness. It starts early, and I think that that's at the forefront for me because if you have a healthy body, then you're going to have a greater chance at a healthy mind and a healthy life.
But there's more to it than that for you. Let's talk a little bit about your family health history.
Well, I lost my mother about 5 years ago to the effects of congestive heart failure. My father had one of the very first bypasses ever done in the Cleveland Clinic in 1966, and everyone in my family on either side has died from some form of heart disease. So I know I can't control my heredity, but I can control how I exercise and what I eat, and so that's what I try to do to keep myself healthy.
You have a motto, is it, it's not how fast you go, it's just that you go.
Just go.
Is that just about running, or do you apply that in life as well?
I think it's great for life too. Just do the best you can do and don't worry about being, you know, the best at everything. Do the best you can do.